One of these two V8 AS has a repair that can run past $8,500, and the other one basically never needs it. Two truck shoppers are standing in two different dealerships right now, both deciding between the exact same two engines, Ram's 5.7 HEMI or Ford's 5.0 Coyote. I've had both of these V8s on my lift more times than I can count, and the data on both is finally old enough at 100,000 miles to actually mean something. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what breaks on each of these engines, what each one really costs to own past that mileage, and which truck wins for your specific situation, because it isn't the same answer for everyone. Neither one of these is a bad engine, and neither company built in a flaw on purpose. HEMI is the older, simpler design. 2 valves per cylinder, port injection, and a fuel-saving trick called cylinder deactivation that shuts down 4 cylinders at cruise. Coyote is the newer, more complex design. 4 valves per cylinder, dual fuel injection, more moving parts making more power out of the same displacement. Simple and proven versus modern and efficient is the real trade-off here, and each one pays for its own choice in a different place. The Coyote side. What Ford's more complex design actually costs you. Ford's current generation 5.0, built since 2018, uses dual fuel injection, both direct injection into the cylinder and traditional port injection into the intake tract, running together. That's specifically there to solve the one problem that plagues every pure direct injection engine this channel has covered on the EcoBoost side: carbon buildup on the intake valves. The port injectors spray fuel across those valves. The direct injectors alone never could. And on this generation, that carbon problem is genuinely solved, not just reduced. Here is where it gets interesting. Ford does have one acknowledged quirk on this specific generation, built 2018 through 2020. The company's own service documentation states these trucks can burn about a quart of oil every 3,000 miles under normal driving, and calls that within normal range. That's not a leak, and it's not damage. It just means running one of these trucks without keeping an eye on the dipstick between changes is asking for a stretch of driving on genuinely low oil. I had a 2019 F-150 come in at 110,000 miles, where the owner had genuinely never checked the dipstick between changes, trusting the maintenance minder alone. Oil level was dangerously low, though the engine itself showed no damage yet. A $5 dipstick check twice a year would have caught it years earlier. Past that one quirk, this engine's actual failure list is short. Some early Gen 2 trucks, 2015 through 2017, saw head gasket leaks, and the very first Gen 1 trucks, 2011 through 2014, had a soft intake valve issue distinct from anything on the current dual injection generation. Result? An owner who checks the dipstick between changes on a 2018 to 2020 truck spends nothing extra dealing with a quart of oil Ford already calls normal. An owner who doesn't check it runs a real risk of driving on low oil with no warning light for it. That is the trade, and it's the only real one this engine asks you to make. The HEMI side. What the older, simpler design actually costs you. And it gets worse before it gets fair. The single most common complaint on the 5.7 HEMI is exhaust manifold bolts breaking from years of heat cycling stress, usually showing up as a tick or an exhaust leak sound under the hood. Caught early, that's a $200 to $1,000 repair. Ignored long enough that the leak burns a valve, and you're looking at pulling heads to replace and reseat valves, with bills climbing toward $2,500. The bigger risk sits inside Chrysler's own fuel-saving trick. Cylinder deactivation, marketed as MDS, shuts down 4 cylinders at highway cruise to save gas. The lifters that make that deactivation possible are more mechanically complex than a fixed lifter, and when they fail, they don't fail quietly. A roller bearing seizes, needle bearings scatter, and the cam lobe underneath gets ground down by the metal shedding off the failing lifter. There's no mileage this reliably shows up at. It's appeared under 100,000 miles and stayed away past 200,000 on other trucks, which makes it the one truly unpredictable repair on either engine on this list. Dealer quotes commonly run $3,500 to $5,500, and the worst documented cases, with a camshaft, all 16 lifters, and a timing chain all needing replacement together, run as high as $8,500. I had a Ram come in at 96,000 miles with exactly that tick, caught early enough that a straight cam and lifter job with an MDS delete kit installed at the same time ran just under $4,000. And that truck hasn't made a sound since. Nobody caught it that early by luck. The owner had every oil change done at 5,000 miles without fail on the record. Result? A disciplined 5,000-mile oil change costs under $100 a year and is the single best defense this engine has against its own most expensive failure. Skip that discipline, and you're gambling on whether this is the 100,000-mile HEMI or the 200,000-mile one. That is the choice. And unlike the Coyote's one quirk, this is the one repair on this entire list, with no guaranteed way to see it coming. Now, here's the part of this video that actually matters more than either engine's failure list. Both of these problems are about maintenance discipline, not luck, and the two manufacturers back that up completely differently on paper. Hit subscribe now, because what each warranty actually promises you is not what either sales pitch implies. The warranty that covers both, or neither, depending who's asking. This is where most people get it completely wrong. They hear Ram now backs every engine, HEMI included, with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty starting with the 2026 model year, and assume that's simply better than Ford's standard 5-year, 60,000-mile coverage on the Coyote. On a new truck, kept by the original owner, it genuinely is better. Full stop. Here's what doesn't make the sales pitch. That Ram coverage is for the original owner only, and it's non-transferable. The moment that truck changes hands, it drops straight down to the same 5-year, 60,000-mile terms Ford already gives you standard on the Coyote. And this channel's actual audience mostly isn't buying these trucks new off a dealership lot. You're buying them used at or approaching 100,000 miles, which is exactly the point where Ram's headline number and Ford's standard number already describe the identical protection. Result? Buy either truck new and keep it forever, and Ram's warranty is real, meaningful money on the table. Buy either truck used, the way most of this audience actually buys, and you're comparing two engines on their actual track records, not on a warranty booklet that already expired before you owned it. That is the math neither brochure puts in writing, the number that surprises most shoppers. Stay with me, because the fuel economy argument you'd expect here barely holds up anymore. EPA rates the current 5.0 Coyote at 18 to 19 miles per gallon combined, depending on drivetrain, and the eTorque's 5.7 HEMI at 19 to 20 combined, meaning the HEMI, not the Coyote, currently holds the EPA edge on paper, a full reversal of this engine's old reputation as the thirstier V8. Real-world testing backs that up. One back-to-back comparison had an eTorque Ram beating a Coyote F150 by more than 3 miles per gallon on the same 41-mile loop. Resale value is just as close. The F-150 loses about 43% of its value over 5 years. The Ram 1500 loses about 42.8%, a gap small enough that it isn't a real factor in this decision either way. Result: neither the old fuel economy gap nor a resale value edge is a real reason to pick one of these trucks over the other anymore. Whatever tips this decision for you, it isn't the spreadsheet math everybody assumes it is. That is the number that actually surprises most shoppers cross-shopping these two trucks today. The fair verdict. But don't stop there, because the honest verdict depends entirely on who's asking. If you're buying new and keeping the truck as the original owner, Ram's warranty is a real, legitimate reason to lean HEMI. And the exhaust manifold bolt issue is a known, bounded cost most owners face at some point, regardless of how carefully they maintain the truck. If you're the disciplined owner who never misses a 5,000-mile interval, the HEMI's biggest risk is almost entirely in your own hands to prevent. If you're buying used, near or past 100,000 miles, the warranty math is already awash on both sides, and the real question becomes maintenance records. Has this specific truck's oil been changed on time, its entire life, regardless of which badge is on the tailgate? A Coyote with a sloppy oil change history and unknown dipstick habits is a bigger risk than its reputation suggests. A HEMI with a documented, disciplined oil change history is a smaller risk than its exhaust bolt reputation suggests. And if you tow heavy on a regular basis, both of these V8s handle real weight fine. But the HEMI's cylinder deactivation system works harder, more often, under load, which is one more reason disciplined oil changes matter even more on a truck that tows. Neither of these engines is the wrong choice, and neither is a sure thing. One asks you to watch the dipstick on a specific 3-year window of trucks. The other asks you to never skip an oil change in exchange for an engine with genuinely no other real weakness on this list. Comment which one you're driving, your mileage, and whether you've already dealt with the exhaust bolts or the oil consumption quirk. I want to know which engine's actual owners are seeing more of their own reputation play out in real life. Which one of these two trucks actually tows better once you load a real trailer behind it? That's the next video. Check your own maintenance records against both these lists before you watch it.